I'm receiving a word from on high.
And what is that word?
The word is, why the hell not?
A while back, James Garner and I had a chance to work together in a movie, something we hadn't done before.
You still have that thing?
Yes, she'll dance all the way home.
It was a great experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. The film was Space Cowboys, which I also directed. And I gotta tell you that directing James Garner is tremendous because he's just one of those consummate pros. He's completely prepared. The kind of a guy you can just start the camera rolling, and when he walks on the set, he'll jump in and do something. It's not like he has to adjust his wardrobe or fidget with this or that to prepare. The guy just comes in. He knows what he's got to do, and he does it because he's confident.
Okay, I got it. You see there, like a flat sucker.
He's always had that confidence. I know because we've been friends since we were both starving actors in Los Angeles. Drinking beer at a bar on Sunset, talking about how we were going to make it someday.
Time for another round before the train?
We both found steady work around the same time. TV westerns. For me, it was the show Rawhide. For Jim, it was Maverick, which made him an overnight sensation. And I think that's because the character of Brett Maverick is a lot like Jim. They both have a great sense of humor and easygoing way about them.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, sir.
Something television audiences respond to, the comfort factor. James Garner is the type of guy you'd like to have in your living room, even if it's just on the television screen every Sunday night. Something else Jim Garner and Brett Maverick have in common, a healthy respect for roughneck gunslingers.
Your stage is waiting for you, Maverick.
You selling tickets?
No, but you're buying one.
I am.
Yes, indeed. You being an understanding soul, and one that don't like violence.
Let's get out of here, Maverick. You don't want any trouble.
You're right, Doc. Not that kind.
We had a great time when I did Maverick over 40 years ago. It gave me a chance to see Jim at work and to see how he treats others on the set. It was like family. Jim's been there for members of that family throughout his career. Whether they're actors, stand-ins, makeup artists, Jim has an intense loyalty for people. He sticks with them, come hell or high water, which is great, easily one of Jim's best qualities.
A blind man is an unnecessary hazard not only to himself, but to the whole plan, and must therefore be eliminated from the operation.
Colin's not a blind man as long as he's with me. And he's going with me.
Farewell.
It didn't take long for producers to realize that Jim would make a good movie star. Nowadays, television actors become movie stars all the time. But back then, in the late 50s, it wasn't so easy. There was a sort of prejudice at that time for guys who were on television. The theory being that you saw them every week in your living room for free, so why pay to see them in a movie? But Jim proved that wasn't the case, which opened the door for people like Steve McQueen and myself. Some in Hollywood thought Jim as the next Cary Grant, a leading man who could do either dramas or light comedies. There's not many actors who can do that, now or then, but Jim was one of those guys.
Molly!
And being the heir apparent to Cary Grant has its advantages. He got a lot of work opposite some of Hollywood's best leading ladies, playing good roles in some big films. Sure, he's often played a certain type of character, but he's also taken some chances and done some different, challenging roles, like the amnesiac Mr. Budwing, or his dark, vengeful Wyatt Earp.
$50 to see my brother shot. 1, 2, 3.
I like a lot of Jim's films, but I'll tell you the one I like best. The Americanization of Emily. He was great in it.
I've had Germans and Italians tell me how politically ingenuous we are. And perhaps so. But we haven't managed a Hitler or Mussolini yet. I've had Frenchmen call me a savage because I only took half an hour for lunch. Hell, Miss Barham, the only reason the French take 2 hours for lunch is because the service in their restaurants is lousy. The most tedious of the lot are you British. We crass Americans didn't introduce war into your little island. This war, Miss Barham, to which we Americans are so insensitive, is the result of 2,000 years of European greed, barbarism, superstition, and stupidity. Don't blame it on our Coca-Cola bottles. Europe was a going brothel long before we came to town.
Dear me, what an outburst.
I saw the picture in Spain when I was doing A Fistful of Dollars. When he finished that speech, all of the Americans in the theater, including myself, started cheering like mad. What would Jim think about me going on and on about him like this? Well, he'd probably think I'm a poor judge of character. But Jim's one of the best actors I've had the privilege of working with, and hopefully it won't be another 40 years before we do it again. For Turner Classic Movies, I'm Clint Eastwood.
Star of the Month James Garner comes into your living room tonight beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern, only on Turner Classic Movies.